Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe to the channel. I'll give you 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button. All right, so if you have subscribed, thank you very much. So let's clean up our code a little bit here. So let me log out for a second here and log in as an admin. Password. Okay, then let's go to tests here. Okay, so I still can't see the edit and delete, but if I go to classes, let's go to this particular class. Let's see tests here. Okay, there's edit and delete, but it's not there here. Okay, so that's all I wanted to check. Now I can log out and log back in as my guy, which is a student. Okay, so if we go to tests here, we shouldn't be able to see, let's see here. First of all, we shouldn't be able to see this because it doesn't do much for the student at all. And also we don't need because in tests.php, let me move down here for a second. Because in test controller, tests.php, we have all this code here for editing and deleting, so we don't need it. So let's get all this public add out. There's also edit, remove that. There's also delete function, remove that as well. So boom, don't forget this final closing tag bracket here because it's part of the class. Okay, so at least that is much cleaner now, much cleaner code. All right, so and then we can hide this. So if we go to tests.php, let's see here, tests.view, it loads in test.inc, so that's test.inc. And let's see, I want to remove this button right here with an arrow. Now instead of removing it completely, what I want to do is add some access. So I'm going to copy this, in fact this whole if statement there from here, and let's see, it's right here. So I'll do an if statement, full colon, PHP, that should have been a PHP tag like so, and then let's put an end if. So this is only for lecturers and above. So yeah, if I now refresh, I don't see that, so it's pointless now. All right, so that is good. If I take this test and I try to view the class, then I get to this class, and here I will see that as well. And I also see add test, right? So actually the student shouldn't even be able to see any of this because this is where the lecturer adds the students, and they don't even need to know that they're in the same class or which teachers are in here. So this is a choice you will have to make on your own if you want them to be able to view all this. But in my case, especially where there are tests here, they're not supposed to be able to view. They should just go to tests here, and also they should go to their profile. Let's see here, and click on tests, and that's where they see the tests, those two places, but not when they're taking the test to view the class itself. But let's leave this for now there. I'm going to click and wait a minute here. If I go to classes, okay, so that's my class there. Okay, student tests. Okay, so this is all good. Let me click on tests, come back to tech test, and this here. All right, so when I come back to the classes view, the single class view, I shouldn't be able to see this. So instead, I should have the access denied. So what I should do is go as a student. This is single test, is it? Single class, actually. So let's go to single class. So here it only checks if I am logged in, but instead of the check login, we should have a the access, and the access should be lecturer. Okay, and then instead of all this, the login, we send them to access denied. I think it's underscore denied. Let's see if that works. Let's try to view that. Oh, actually we're already in a class, so let's refresh and we get access denied. So that is all good. We can take a test. If we want to view the class, we get access denied. Now, since we can't view the class created by, this is a test, and we should be able to put the class name here so that the student can see what class this belongs to if they wanted to. So instead of, so there's date created, that, and then active, yes. We don't even need to know about the active, so we can just replace active with class, what class it is, so test questions. So let's remove this view class there. So to do that, we go back to tech test tab view, and where are those buttons? Actually, this is not the place. It's tech test.view. This is the one. So view class here should be out. So let's remove the whole table data out. And let's refresh. Oh, but wait a second. I want to see where we're getting the class ID. So that's the class ID here. So I'm just going to cut this for reference. Boom. Okay, so let's refresh. Okay, none of that anymore. So instead of knowing whether this is active or not, we don't really need that information as a student. Only the teacher needs that information, the lecturer. So what we will do is, let me move this down. So instead of active, we're going to say class, so that you know what class this is from. And if I put what I had copied, this is the class ID. So that's the class ID right there. Now, instead of having an ID, of course, we need to know the class name itself. So when we are taking the test, reading from the test here, let me see, if row, so let's just show what's inside row here for a second, like this. So I want to show that. Okay, so inside row there's a user record here, but we could do a similar thing for test and put a record for the class as well. That way we can get to know more information about the class. Let's see, this is a test. So this is all about tests. So in order to do that, we can simply go to the model for tests. So that's a tests model. And after select, we get a user, right? But we can say get class as well, like this. And then let's go to the get user function, which is right here. And we can do this, get class. Oopsie. Now, instead of using the user's model here, yeah, we can use the class model, right? Classes model. So let's select this. or references to class. And then let me change that to classes model. Okay, hopefully that's the one. And then class where, and then we get this, and the key, yes, instead of, oh yeah, that is class. That looks good enough. Let's refresh the page. And as you can see, now we have a class right here. And the class itself, because of the way the model is, it also gets the user there automatically. So information, gotten from information, and information some more. Okay, so at least here in the class name, we have the class itself, class, second class. So I just need to go to class and then class again. So class, yes. So close the model here and let me remove that. Then all I need to do now to get the class name, instead of class ID, I'll just say row class and then point another class like this. That should give us the class name itself. Okay, so there we go. Class name, second class. So a second test. So we can do this instead, something like this. Where is the title here? Row test. That's the test title. And we can say that. And let me duplicate this and just paste this here. Reduce this to H5, and then we'll say from so this is like a test from second class, or you could say for whatever the class name is and say students, something like this. Okay, so a second test for, so you can get creative there and do whatever you want. So let's try this one. Yeah, second class students. Yeah, that sounds very derogatory, but that's what it is. So I think I prefer saying from like this because we don't know what the class name will be. Okay, so otherwise this is all good.